Listen, we are back with another episode of I Am Genesis podcast. We are here today to talk about starting over. Starting over can be tough. Starting over can be frightening. Starting over can, if I'm honest, send a lot of us into a dark space, a dark place, because starting over is stepping into unfamiliar territory where we don't have the blueprint of what's ahead, where we don't even know what's ahead, and it can cause us to retreat. But I'm here to simply say that oftentimes, more often than not, starting over can be beautiful. Starting over is exactly what some of us honestly truly need, whether we realize it or not. And starting over doesn't mean that you lost. Starting over doesn't mean that you are so far behind now. Starting over doesn't mean that you necessarily did something wrong, but starting over is simply the beginning of a new beginning. Starting over is simply the beginning of new beginnings. So embrace your beginning of new beginnings. If you are starting over in whatever area of your life, whether that be in business, if you're starting over with relationships, if you're starting over with being single again, if you're starting over with a new job, if you're starting over in whatever area of your life that may be, it doesn't mean that you lost. Starting over is a beautiful experience, and starting over is what I believe God intercepting your plan and causing you to go on a detour that will ultimately lead to the abundance and to a fruitful life. So embrace starting over. Starting over is simply the beginning of a new beginning. And we may not fully understand why we have to start over now. Why do I have to start over at 30 years old? Why do I have to start over at 40 years old? Why do I have to start over at 50 something years old? Why did I work all this long time or pursued this dream or this vision all of this long time just to start over? But starting over is the beginning of a new beginning. It is elevation. Well, listen, let me tell you something. God has a way of pouring his favor upon you. Well, what should have taken you years to obtain from starting over will only take but a moment. So I encourage you to just simply embrace the beginning of a new beginning. There is something in store for you. There is something in the trail of your new beginning that God wants you to encounter, because that's where his miracle lies. That's where the blessing lies. That's where the overflow lies. That's where every resource that you have been desperately needing and the prayers that you have been so desperately praying, that's where all of that resides, in the new beginning. So starting over is simply the beginning of a new beginning. Embrace your new beginning. Congratulations on the beginning of a new beginning. It looks great on you.